Mr. Goraytri. Someday, Mr. Goraytri.
What happened to you anyway? You take off.
Yellowface has been a problem in Hollywood since at least the early 1930s. White actors and actresses will have their makeup done to make them appear more Asian on screen. Many times, they will use an over-the-top accent to portray these characters, so it is not only the makeup, but also the way these people play into blatant stereotypes of Asians that brings about the question of when this will stop happening in TV and film. When we think of Yellowface, we may think of TV and film characters from a long time ago, like Charlie Chan, Mr. Yuniyoshi, and Fu Manchu. However, Yellowface is still happening today. In the film Cloud Atlas, actors Jim Sturgis and Hugo Weaving are reincarnated as Koreans. This movie came out in 2012. Actress Tilda Swinton played a Tibetan monk in Marvel's Doctor Strange, released in 2016. And Ashton Kutcher played a Bollywood producer in a Pop Chips commercial in 2012. Whitewashing is also still prominent in Hollywood. Matt Damon played a war general in ancient China in the movie The Great Wall, released in 2016. Scarlett Johansson was the lead in Ghost in the Shell, a Japanese manga that was made into a live-action Hollywood film, released in 2017. And recently, Disney has seen a lot of people asking that the cast of their upcoming live-action versions of Aladdin and Mulan not be whitewashed.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in hell.
The previous clip was of Apu from The Simpsons. Apu from The Simpsons has been criticized as being very racist and very stereotypical. He has also led to many controversy over whether his character should remain. One person who has commented on such criticisms is Hari Kondabolu. He is a comedian, and he has voiced his opinion in his documentary, The Problem with Apu. He talks about how growing up, Apu was the only person who was Indian in the media, and this negatively affected him. It affected the way he was viewed and the way he viewed himself. He thought he had to be discriminatory against himself in order to do well in the media industry, which he went into. It also affected how other people would treat him and other Indian Americans, often using Apu's catchphrase, "Thank you, come again," in his face quite often. Another problem that Hari cites with Apu is the fact that one of the biggest problems for Asian Americans in general is the fact that he is voiced by a white actor. And the reason that this was such a problem is because there was underrepresentation at the time of Indians in the media. There's also a big underrepresentation of Asians in the media. Besides Yellowface, this is the biggest controversy with Asian Americans in media. As mentioned before, Asian Americans get less screen time than their white counterparts. In actuality, their white counterparts get 3 times longer the amount of screen time than Asian Americans will. This is an increasing problem in the U.S. as the Asian Americans are becoming the biggest minority in the U.S., yet they're still getting a lack of representation in the media, and they're only being portrayed as minor characters, except in few shows such as Fresh Off the Boat, whose very name of the show implies a very racist connotation. One of the reasons that being able to see yourselves in the media is very important for children growing up is that when you see yourself in the media, you think that's what you can be. Like Hari, who only saw Pooh, He didn't think he could do well by being himself, but by having to be the Indian American he wasn't. He felt that without that he would never get anywhere. So many children feel like they can only be so much and are limited by what they see. For example, if a child wants to be an astronaut but does not see any Asians on TV being portrayed as astronauts, they will think it's not within the norm, and they'll be constricted by what the media portrays them as. For example, many kids have quoted that the new show Fresh Off the Boat has people asking them if their parents are as stingy as Miss Wong from Fresh Off the Boat. This leads to bullying, which can be a problem in schools, and a further identity crisis of the model minority that many Asians face in media today.